Hey everyone, my name is Dana Schmoyer and I am 34 weeks pregnant right now, and this week I want to talk to you about traveling while pregnant. If you follow our family vlog, you will already know that just a few days ago I just got back from LA going to VidCon with my husband, and the week before that we had a 10-hour drive back home after a 10-hour drive to my in-laws, and that was at just 33 weeks along. I have traveled before by long road trips and by plane while pregnant, but none of those were ever in my third trimester. And this time, traveling in my third trimester felt a whole lot different. Usually on long car rides, I try to do most of the driving because Tim can get work done while I'm driving and he's sitting in the passenger seat. I was very uncomfortable in the driver's seat, and I think it was mostly because I had to stay sitting in the same position the whole time that I was driving. It was very hard to shift around while you're driving and get comfortable in different positions. So when Tim took over and he drove most of the trip, actually, it was a whole lot more doable. I felt bad, but it worked. We did have to make quite a few stops for the restroom, which was also nice because I could get my legs stretched out and go for a little bit of walk, and we could get the kids out and let them run. But for the most part, it was okay and not too bad. Flying this late in the pregnancy was a whole nother story, and I know most doctors, I think, recommend flying over driving long distances because at least in the airplane you can get up and you can walk around whenever you need to, instead of on a long car ride you're usually not wanting to make too many stops. But on our first leg of the flight, was only a 1-hour flight for our connection, and I didn't have to get up at all because you're only in the air enough to get up, get your drink, and get down. But then our second flight was a 6-hour flight, and that one was not fun. I did get up and walk around the plane about every hour that we were flying because my legs were getting so swollen. The first hour was okay, I handled that all right, but the last 5 hours on the plane were just very, very uncomfortable. I tried to take a nap, I was really tired, but I couldn't sleep because my legs were I could just feel them swelling up. And I just had to keep them moving. Even when I was just sitting down, I had to just keep them moving because they were getting so uncomfortable. On the way back home, though, further on in my pregnancy, was a little bit better, doing the longer flight first and then having the shorter flight. For some reason, that felt a lot more manageable. Maybe it was because I didn't have that extra hour tagged on beforehand, but doing the longer flight first definitely made it a whole lot better. I did have a doctor's appointment the day before that we flew out for LA, and the doctor said that everything was good and fine and everything was looking perfect. There were no issues, no worries. The thing that I did not do was tell my doctor that I was going to be flying, because our doctor's office seems to be a little bit more conservative. And the very first time that I was in the office, whenever we were getting the confirmation ultrasound that I was pregnant, the nurse in there said that this doctor's office doesn't recommend you flying, or doesn't recommend you traveling over an hour away after the 25th week of pregnancy. And I was like, that is nuts. I've always traveled further than that, further along in the pregnancy. And I think it's just one of those very conservative guidelines, so they don't get in any trouble with anything. But I was able to schedule an appointment the day before we left. Everything looked perfect and great. There were no concerns, so I figured it's okay. At 34 weeks, baby boy is measuring just under 5 pounds, which is only 1 pound lighter than my last baby was at birth, and she was completely healthy, just a tiny little peanut. And this guy has been measuring a little bit bigger than normal, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's already 5 pounds right now. Definitely feels like it. Things are going a little bit slower. I'm having to take a break and rest and catch up on my breath a lot more often, go to the bathroom more frequently. Sleeping's not comfortable at all. And now I will leave you with my 34-week baby bump. He is really sticking out there now and is still nonstop moving. I don't know how much room he has in there, but he's definitely feels like he's making room and just moves around like crazy. There's no issue at all in there for him. So eventually maybe he'll start slowing down when he starts getting squished. Maybe not. We'll find out.